What if your body has been sending you quiet signals for a long time, and these messages have simply gone unnoticed in the hustle of daily life? Long before any formal checkup or a laboratory result arrives in your mailbox, the signs of how your body handles sugar may already be written right on your feet. Today, I want to share something with you that could truly change the way you look at your well being. Many people believe that changes in our internal balance can only be caught by complex tests. You wait for the appointment, you wait for the results, and only then do you get answers. I understand why we feel this way. For a long time, that is what we were taught to believe. But over the years of observing and listening to people, I have seen a very different pattern. Your body is incredibly communicative. It starts giving you hints about your sugar levels and circulation long before a piece of paper tells you there is a concern. And the very first place your body usually chooses to speak up is your feet. I am sharing this today because I have seen so many people who felt perfectly fine, but had subtle changes they just didn't know how to interpret. They thought it was just a natural part of getting older or a result of a long day on their feet. Today, we are going to change that perspective together. I remember a gentleman I spoke with not long ago. He was 67, retired, and quite active. He felt healthy, but during our conversation, he mentioned that his feet felt a bit different lately. He called it just a bit of age showing. But when we looked closer, he had several of the signals we are going to discuss today. It turned out his body had been trying to get his attention for nearly 2 years. So today, I want to guide you through 9 specific signs that might be present on your feet right now. For each one, I will explain what we usually mistake it for, what your body is actually trying to say, and a simple, gentle habit you can start tonight to support your vitality. It is estimated that millions of people are living with shifting sugar levels without even realizing it. These shifts can quietly affect your nerves and your natural rhythm. The good news is that awareness is your strongest tool. When you know what to look for, you can take charge of your comfort and your future. Let us look at the first signal, which is something almost everyone has felt at some point. Most people describe it as a tingling or a slight numbness, like pins and needles. Usually we tell ourselves, my foot just fell asleep, or I must have sat the wrong way. And while that happens to everyone occasionally, I want you to ask yourself if this is happening regularly, without a clear reason. If the answer is yes, we should look at what is happening beneath the surface. Frequent recurring tingling in the feet is often one of the earliest ways the body indicates that sugar levels have been elevated. Think of it this way. Your nerves are like delicate electrical wires that carry messages from your brain to your toes. Each wire has a protective outer layer that keeps the signal clear. When sugar stays high in the system for a long time, it acts like a slow, persistent force that wears down that protection. The signals start to get a bit fuzzy or distorted, and that is exactly what you feel as tingling. It is a slow process, which is why it is so easy to overlook. My recommendation for anyone moving into their golden years is to prioritize a 20-minute gentle walk every single day. Not a fast run, just a steady, purposeful walk. This movement is the best way to keep your circulation active and protect those delicate nerve endings. Also, I suggest looking at your daily sugar intake. Starting today, try to choose natural sweetness over added sugars. Your nerves will truly appreciate the change. The second sign is often described as the most uncomfortable because it tends to appear when you are finally trying to rest. Many people notice a burning sensation in the soles of their feet, especially at night when the house is quiet and there are no distractions. It is common to blame this on being on your feet all day, or perhaps the warmth of the blankets. But when the feet feel like they are radiating heat, even when they are cool to the touch, we need to pay attention. This sensation is often a sign that the nerves are sending incorrect messages to the brain. Because the nerves have been stressed by excess sugar, they begin to misfire. It is like a sensor that has become a bit too sensitive. There's no actual heat source, but the brain receives a heat message anyway. Your nervous system is essentially calling out for a bit of support. To help with this, I recommend 2 simple habits. First, ensure you are drinking enough pure water throughout the day. Hydration helps your system process everything more efficiently and supports your tissues. Second, Try to include more fiber in your meals. Think of green vegetables, oats, and beans. Fiber helps your body manage sugar absorption much more smoothly, which provides a calmer environment for your nerves. The third sign is one that moves from being a simple discomfort to something that requires your full focus. This involves how your body repairs itself. You might notice a small scratch or a tiny blister from a shoe that just refuses to go away. Most of us expect a small mark to fade in a few days, but if you notice a wound is lingering for weeks, it is a clear signal. When sugar levels are consistently high, the body finds it harder to send help to where it is needed. The tiny blood vessels that carry nutrients and oxygen to your feet can become less flexible. Imagine a garden hose with a small kink in it. The water is there, but it just cannot reach the flowers at the end of the line. Your feet are the furthest point from your heart, and they rely on clear pathways for repair. If those pathways are crowded with sugar, the healing process slows down significantly. This is why I suggest a very simple nightly ritual. After your bath or shower, take a moment to sit down and look at your feet, with a small mirror if needed. Check between the toes and around the heels. If you see any broken skin, clean it gently and keep it protected. If it does not show signs of improvement within 2 days, it is time to have a conversation with someone who can check your levels. Caught early, these small marks are easy to manage, but they do require your awareness. Sign number 4 is often hiding in plain sight, and many people walk right past it for years. It is a change in the color of the skin, especially around the ankles or the tops of the feet. You might see a deeper red, a slight darkening, or even a subtle bluish tint. It is easy to think this is just sun damage or a result of standing too long, but this discoloration is often a visible map of your circulation. Your feet are at the end of the longest delivery route in your body. Your blood acts like a delivery service, bringing oxygen to every cell. When the pathways are not as clear as they used to be, the delivery of fresh oxygen slows down. The skin changes color as a distress signal, telling you it needs more nourishment. In some cases, the skin might also feel thinner or more fragile. To support your circulation, I recommend 5 minutes of gentle movement every morning before you even get out of bed. Circle your ankles, flex your toes, and stretch your calves. This small habit invites the blood to flow down to your toes. Even if you have limited mobility, simply elevating your feet for a few minutes while you sit can make a meaningful difference in how your skin looks and feels. The fifth sign often surprises people because it looks like a simple cosmetic issue. We are talking about deeply cracked heels and very dry skin. I often hear people say that their skin is just dry because of the season or the soap they use. But if no amount of lotion seems to help, or if the cracks appear even in humid weather, there is something else happening. Your body has a system that automatically manages moisture and sweat in your skin. When the nerves that control this system are stressed by sugar, they stop sending the signal to keep the skin hydrated. Your feet begin to lose moisture from the inside out. It is like a stone wall where the mortar starts to crumble. These cracks are not just a nuisance, they are small openings that need to stay sealed for your protection. My suggestion is to moisturize your feet every single evening. Use a simple natural oil like coconut oil or a gentle lotion. Apply it well to the heels and soles, but remember to keep the area between your toes dry, as moisture there can lead to other issues. And again, remember that hydration starts from within. Drinking water is just as important for your skin as any cream you apply. I want to take a moment here to speak to you directly. We have shared 5 signs so far, and I want you to think about whether you have noticed any of these in your own life, or perhaps in someone you love. If you have noticed even one of these signals, it is a wonderful opportunity to be proactive. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I value hearing from you and learning about your experiences. This community is built on sharing wisdom and supporting one another as we navigate these years together. If you find this information helpful, please consider sharing it with a friend. It takes only a second, but it could be the exact message someone else needs to hear today. Moving on to sign number 6, which is related to how your body manages fluids. You might notice that your feet and ankles are consistently swollen, especially toward the end of the day. While some swelling after a long day is normal, persistent swelling that leaves a mark when you press your finger into the skin is a signal from your internal filtration system. Our bodies work hard to maintain a balance of fluids, and when sugar levels have been high for a long time, it can put a strain on the kidneys. When the filtration process is stressed, fluid tends to accumulate in the lowest part of the body due to gravity. It is like a system that is slightly backed up. To help your body find its balance again, I recommend elevating your feet above the level of your heart whenever you are resting. This helps the fluid move back toward the center of your body. Also, pay close attention to the salt in your diet. Excess sodium encourages the body to hold on to water, which makes swelling more noticeable. Reading labels on prepared foods is a simple way to take pressure off your system and keep your ankles feeling light. Sign number 7 is one that is very frequently misunderstood. Many people experience a sudden sharp pain in their feet that feels like a stabbing sensation or a small electric shock. Because we are over 50, it is very common to assume this is just arthritis or an old injury acting up. We might reach for a common pain reliever and move on. However, this type of pain often has a different origin. When nerves are under pressure from high sugar, they don't always go numb. Sometimes they become hyperactive. They send intense, random signals to the brain that feel very real, even though there is no external injury. It is like a car alarm that goes off because of a glitch in the wiring rather than someone touching the car. Masking this with temporary relief doesn't address the underlying signal your nerves are sending. I suggest a 5-minute gentle foot massage every night. Use light circular motions to soothe the area and encourage better communication between your nerves and your brain. This gentle touch can be very grounding and helps your nervous system feel more secure. The 8th sign is one that tells us about the state of our circulation over the long term. If you find that your feet are always cold, regardless of the weather or the blankets you use, this is a sign to observe. Many people laugh and say they have had cold feet their whole life. But if your feet stay cold even in a warm room or during the summer, it suggests that the blood vessels have become a bit more rigid or narrow. Warm blood is simply not reaching the tips of your toes in the volume it should. Think of it like a heating system, where the pipes at the very end of the house aren't getting enough flow. The best way to support your body here is through consistent movement. A brisk 30-minute walk is incredibly powerful. It forces the circulation to reach every corner of your legs and feet. If 30 minutes feels like too much, start with 10. The goal is consistency. Every step you take is a way of strengthening those pathways and inviting warmth back into your feet. Finally, we come to sign number 9, which is perhaps the most overlooked of all. It is the visible absence of hair on the lower legs and the tops of the feet. Most people don't even notice it happening because it is so gradual. You might look down and realize the hair you used to have is simply gone. Hair follicles are like tiny plants, and they require a steady supply of nutrients and oxygen to grow. When circulation is compromised, the follicles are the first to stop working because the body prioritizes more vital functions. This change is a quiet but very reliable marker of how your blood vessels are doing. It is a message you can see with your own eyes. If you notice this, I strongly recommend scheduling a simple check of your sugar levels. It is a very accessible test, and it can provide you with the clarity you need to make informed choices about your health. We have explored a lot of information today. 9 signs that serve as opportunities for you to listen to your body and act with wisdom. One of the most important things I have learned is that information is only powerful when we use it. So I have one small request for you tonight. Before you go to sleep, take just 1 minute to sit down and truly look at your feet. Check the skin, check the temperature, and just be present with yourself. If you see something that matches what we discussed, don't feel discouraged. Instead, feel empowered that you caught the signal. The earlier you recognize these signs, the easier it is to manage them through simple changes in your lifestyle. You have worked hard for your independence and your vitality. By paying attention to these small details, you are protecting your ability to enjoy the years ahead. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to continue this journey of wellness and wisdom, be sure to stay connected with us. I look forward to our next conversation. Take care of yourself and your feet.